So, good morning, everyone. I'm Rob Moffat. This is my, 15th or 18th NOAH. I'm a partner at Balderton Capital with a leading fund focused exclusively on European entrepreneurs in tech, raising Series A and building global billion-dollar businesses. And this is James Hind, the CEO and founder of Carwow. And we just heard from Sujay from Frontier, which is another company where Balderton invested, first investor in. Carwow is also car retail, but completely different to Frontier. So maybe you could just say in your own words, what is Carwow?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Carwow is an online marketplace focused on brand new and nearly new cars, so allowing consumers to compare different cars, where to buy them, and then buy directly from a dealer. So we're live in the UK, which is where we started. We launched in Germany 2 years ago, and launched in Spain the last kind of 3-4 months ago.
And so what is the big advantage for consumers in using Carwow?
I think new cars particularly, and nearly new cars, used cars as well, they haven't really been impacted by the internet that much yet. So consumers have to go in and haggle with the dealership. Stereotypes around the car industry are fairly negative, particularly with car dealers. So there's that real lack of trust, lack of confidence that consumers have. So you can be able to compare all the cars, all the different ways to buy them, and understand what a good price is and where to buy it is a very, very kind of strong value proposition for consumers.
Got it, makes sense. And how about the dealers? Is this not against the dealers, or how do the dealers see this?
Yeah, the dealers, they realize that consumers are just predominantly looking online. They make their decision of which car to buy online, and then they go to the dealer to complete the transaction, but they know that they have to get in front of these consumers who are increasing online. Showroom visits, test drive visits are decreasing quite rapidly, and these guys don't have a presence online.
Got it, okay. I guess particularly an issue this year with WLTP and diesel emissions, and
lots of
pressure to sell.
Emission and diesel changes that come very rapidly and confuse the hell out of consumers. And again, part of our job is helping them navigate through an industry that is not well trusted. We can be their trusted advisor throughout it.
Got it. So what kind of scale are you at now? What can you say about how big a business Carwow is?
Yeah, so I think we've sold over 3.5 billion worth of cars through the platform. We represent about just over 5% of consumer new car sales in the UK. Germany is growing very quickly. It's about 2 years behind the UK. And Spain is growing more rapidly than Germany ever did. It works very, very well there.
So 3.5 billion of cars sold.
Yeah.
Do you have an annual number on that, or do you not share a...
I think it's, I can't remember what it is this year, but 70 odd thousand already.
Okay. And do you take any of this on your balance sheet, or are you...
No, pure marketplace. We charge transactionally to the dealers. We now work with most manufacturers as well in different ways, through marketing offerings, through data, through kind of augmenting our proposition with the information that they have. It works very well with them as well.
Got it, okay. And how about your manufacturers? Are they starting to get engaged around this?
I think we only launched a manufacturer team in the last 12 months, but we've done a lot of deals with, again, we work with the majority of manufacturers now in different ways. Some of them are looking to integrate very, very closely with us.
Okay, and how would they integrate? What kind of things can you do for them?
So we can help, a lot of them have aspirations to sell direct themselves. Most of them haven't quite worked out how to do it, but it's something that we can help with, and we could offer that offering on our platform as well for consumers to understand and compare.
Interesting. So you can start to think about more of a full e-commerce experience around automotive. So you say, UK's been a great success, Germany also, and more recently Spain. So what have you seen across that international expansion? It's always hard, particularly for a classified or an advertising-driven business.
It's tough. We have a marketplace that doesn't transact across borders. Yeah. So you have to build a liquidity in each market, but ultimately the platform, the technology, and the kind of know-how is what makes us work. Yeah. And we can launch. So we launched in Spain very, very quickly and ramped up. Very, very, very quickly. It's the technology underlying it that makes us successful internationally.
Got it. Okay. And is there any particular learning from Germany that you're doing differently in Spain this time around?
Well, a few learnings we've learned, mainly internal culturally. Don't forget about the other countries. We're a UK headquarters business, but every so often we forget we have other countries, and really remembering that. And what was a UK-focused business for many years, now internationally, we've got a lot better, but we can still get better.
So taking that London office and having an international team within there. I guess Sujay has that to some extent in Berlin, but it's completely outside of his country's operation, whereas you have to separate the UK team and the international team internally. Makes sense. So In terms of funding-wise, so we led your Series A, your seed, then Axel, then Vitruvian did the Series C last year. Other than that, you tend to keep your head down. You don't spend a lot of time talking at conferences or talking to investors. So why come out today and make the exception, and what's changing in your view?
Well, we know there's a couple of our manufacturer kind of friends and contacts in the audience. Chance to say hello to them. We will raise money in the next kind of few months. These are massive markets we're in. There's a huge amount to do in the UK, a huge amount to do in Germany and Spain, and we will consider more markets as well. We just want to move faster and help consumers across whole new markets that we barely touch. We have a presence in nearly new. It's very nascent. We want to go a lot harder in that. We don't help yet enough with understanding financing. Financing is how most people get a car. There's a lot more we can do on that. And we don't yet help enough with the part exchange. People who have a car to sell, it's a big part of the transaction. We've got to help more with that as well. So a huge amount more to do. So we'll raise more, just do it faster.
Also, we just had 3 presentations from different companies doing that part exchange piece, and this shows the scale of that market on its own.
Exactly, and not solved yet completely.
Yeah, completely. And I guess that's another area where manufacturer partnerships come in, right, around the good financing and the part exchange.
Exactly.
So I guess, you've known me now 5-6 years. You've been an investor for 4. What have we done wrong? What could we do better as an investor? There's a lot of investors in the room. What should investors be doing better for you? Or
I mean, Balderton has done a huge amount for us, a huge amount to help from those very, 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 very early days. I think there's a very, very strong kind of partnership there with a lot of different experience from a range of different backgrounds. It's very, very helpful. I think probably the best network of encouraging portfolio companies to interact and talk to each other with events, with newsletters, with groups, with dinners, etc. Very, very useful. I think what could you do better? I think more of that sharing across portfolios, even more of that. Very, very helpful. Obviously, we're not competing direct. Everyone's very open, but getting just more open, more transparent of what's working, what's not is the only thing. But very, very helpful investors.
Trying to find that sharing in the right way where you're not wasting people's time, but where it's genuinely useful every time.
But there's lots of companies similar stage to us, and we can learn a lot from each other.
And you've done a great job, I think, of sucking that knowledge out of other people. So I guess, we're talking, this whole section is about mobility, and there's probably people in the audience who have never bought a car, who would never think of buying a car, think they'll never buy a car. People who think that individual car ownership will be dead in 10 years. What's your take on that? You probably don't agree, but what is your take?
We agree to an extent. I think most of these people talking live in London or Berlin or a big city. And I think going outside of those cities, it's a whole other world. If you haven't got a car, you really struggle to get around anywhere. Most people do commute on their own in their car, and that car usage is very peaky. It's people getting to work or dropping the kids at school and coming back from work. We think car sharing will increase, and it's something we want to offer on our platform. So allowing people to understand the pros and the cons, the different options of where they could subscribe to a car, share a car, and how that compares to ownership. So what the running costs are, what the flexibility is. Ultimately, we think these car sharing providers will just become a part of our offering, a part of our comparison. We do think it will reduce car ownership to some degree, but not hugely significantly.
Interesting, okay. And within cities, do you have a particular view in your mind of what London's going to look like mobility-wise in a decade?
I speak to my parents who lived in London 30 years ago, and they said no one owned a car in London 30 years ago. You've got great public transport. You've got Uber now, which almost to a degree replaces public transport for a lot of people. I think, again, it will decrease some more car ownership, but huge markets, plenty to do.
Fantastic. James, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.